Hello, the Spirit Cocktails. I'm your host Pierre. Today I'm making another Avengers cocktail. This one's called the Captain America. As I said, just like with the Hulk, there's been a bunch of Captain America style cocktails out there. Just like there's been an Iron Man cocktail out there, which you can click here and you can see the video on that. But this one's a little bit different. It's going to have the layered effect, but it's not going to be a shooter. Because you've seen, obviously, with Toasty Bartender, he had the shooter style of Captain America. This is going to have the same coloring, layering effect, but in a cocktail. So it's going to be different. It's going to be having just the right amount of potency because you have the vodka in there. You have some citrus or some orange vodka. You have some sweetness factor because you had the peach schnapps with the coconut rum. Obviously, the grenadine is going to make it sweet. So it's going to have a lot of different aspects to make this into a cocktail instead of a shooter. But it's going to be flavorful. It's going to be unique. This is the Captain America shooter. As in, this is a whole 8 cocktails. That's a lot for one series, but 8 cocktail series of Avengers. So see how exactly this is made. Now this is another one of them easy ones because no shake, strain, no stir. Well, there's a little bit of stir, but basically it's a build directly into a cocktail. Slight stir just to help give it that nice blend. Right, so we're going to start with your orange vodka. Take about an ounce of that. Now by blending all these in and then later adding your grenadine, that's going to help give you that white layer. Now obviously, you're going to have your red layer. Then you do your blue layer. Red, white, and blue. Captain America. So peach schnapps are also taking an ounce of that. Now the one other thing by using peach schnapps that's going to help when adding the grenadine, it's going to make it a little bit thicker so that way the grenadine don't just fall. It falls but blends in just enough on the bottom, help give you that layering effect. So you're taking your coconut rum, take about a half ounce of that. Then 3 ounces of Sprite. You can probably add a little more ice to that. We're going to give it a slight stir. And you want to add your splash of grenadine. Set that aside. Now to make your blue layer, you're taking a half ounce of blue curacao. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can just put it directly in your measuring glass and just mix it together. Or you could take it, put it into another glass, and then blend it together that way. And then you want to add 1 ounce of vodka. You want to stir it well so that way it all basically becomes one ingredient instead of a mix. You want to take your glass, then layer that on top. there you have it. Now done correctly, you have your 3 layers. Your red, your white, and your blue. Hence, the Captain America cocktail. Now this is definitely going to have a lot of sweet notes to it. It's going to be a little potent on top. It's definitely going to be sweet toward the rest of the cocktail. You could drink it just like this and be fine because it'll be basically more of a citrus kind of bit of a potency than you're getting down to the sweetness. So it actually makes you something to look forward to at the end because you're getting all the other blend. But that actually blends pretty well. And needs a nice layering. It's just the right amount of like basic consistency between the two that it does blend slightly but doesn't actually fully blend in. Still floats, it looks pretty cool. Let's see how it tastes. Tastes pretty good. Tell you one thing though, some of the stuff inside your peach schnapps and everything does come toward the top. You do get a little bit of a blend, so it's not just straight blue curacao and everything else. So even though you notice it's a very clean layering on there, it's not just that. It definitely has some extra coloring effects to it. But just the idea that it is a layered cocktail. You have your red, you have your white, you have your blue. This is the Captain America cocktail. It's sweet, has a nice sweet peach flavor to it. The coconut definitely blends in pretty well because you're getting a lot of that nice tropical notes to it. But overall, it's a very flavorful cocktail. It's definitely worth trying out. It's pretty cool just looking at it even on the angle because you can definitely see the 3 layers. You look at it straight on, you can see 3 layers. And however you look at it, you can see it's just cool. Layering cocktails are pretty well. And the one thing about making a layered cocktail is you have to know basically your specific gravities. Because if you have something that's, say, like Everclear, and say if you want to have, oh, let's put Everclear on the bottom and then you want to put Grenadine on top, obviously it's not going to work. Because Grenadine is a lot heavier. It's definitely more syruppier. The one thing about your gravities is water. If I take water, water is your base. This is basically the 1.0 grams. So you have the 1. This is actually a little lighter, so this is actually a little on top. Because alcohol generally is lighter than water. So as you want to layer, anything that has more water to it is going to fall lower than anything that has more alcohol. And obviously the more sugar content, because obviously sugar, it's more additives, it's going to be heavier than water itself, so it's going to help bring it further to the bottom, hence why you're getting this layering effect. Because since we're keeping the middle layer kind of a mix of a lot of sweetness, some sugars, and some waters, because you're adding the Sprite to it, so as that kind of brings up the gravity, it blends in because it's closer, but not fully the same, but actually works pretty well. Now if this was a straight vodka and that, you put that in, it'll go right to the bottom. It'll make a nice clean layer. You're not going to see very much of a blend to it. But since you're also having that sweetness factor, it blends this, it blends, but it also floats. So it's a great cocktail. It's worth checking out. And just for heck of it, since Derek Schirmer did do a whole series on specific gravities and the whole science behind it, I put a link here. You can check it out. It's a great video. It tells you a lot about the different gravities of, like, say, a vodka to a flavored vodka to a schnapps to water, and even something as high as like Grenadine or Everclear is obviously Everclear is going to be higher than standard vodka as far as like the weights. And then you have this, just because of the fact that it does have some flavoring in it, that flavor changes the gravity just enough so it will actually literally sink lower than standard vodka. And obviously this will sink lower than all 3 because it's more sugar, so it's going to bring it down. But definitely check out his video. It's very interesting. It's very informative. And it's something I've been knowing for a while as far as do layering cocktails. But it's a little bit more involved because I didn't know about the differences between the two, because I figure as long as your gravities are pretty similar, As far as like your vodka is like 40 to a 35, they're pretty close. They're gonna blend, but sometimes it might be a 40 and a 40, but you have more sugar. That still may be a 40%, so it will kind of balance itself out. It may fall down more, may actually blend more. You never know. But check them out. Be sure to let me know what you guys think. Check us out on Facebook, Spirit Cocktails. Subscribe to our channel. Submit your cocktails, ideas for cocktails. Send them my way. But as always, drink responsibly.